Okay, so today we're going to talk about minor interval basics. Now, a minor interval is created by decreasing a major interval by 1/2 step. Okay, so here we've got a major third, and it's important to remember that whenever we count half steps, we never include the original note. So the bottom note is C. So we're going to count up the half steps from C to E. So we're going to go C sharp, that's 1, D, that's 2, D sharp, that's 3, E, that's 4. So we have 4 half steps in between. Okay? Now for a minor interval, all we're going to do is take one of those half steps away. So between C and E flat, which is a half step lower than E, we're going to count skipping C, C sharp, that's 1, D, that's 2, E flat, that's 3. So we've got 3 half steps. Okay, and make sure you write 4 half steps over here, 3 half steps over here. Okay, now that's treble clef. In bass clef, we've got another major third interval, that's C to E in the bass clef. Remember, we skipped the C, so we're going to count C sharp, D, D sharp, E. So that's another 4 half steps for a major third. Now we've got a minor third, which should be 3 half steps. Let's count. So we skip the C sharp, we go D, that's 1, D sharp, that's 2, E, that's 3. 3 half steps. Okay? Down here, we're going to see all of the minor and major intervals that are possible. Minor second is the smallest minor interval we have. That's 1 half step. Major second is 1 whole step or 2 half steps. Minor third is 1 1/2 whole steps or 3 half steps. Major third is 2 whole steps from C to E or 4 half steps. Minor sixth, remember we skipped the perfect intervals because perfect fourth and perfect fifth are neither major nor minor. Minor sixth is 4 whole steps or 8 half steps. Major sixth is 4 1/2 whole steps or 9 half steps. Minor seventh is 5 whole steps or 10 half steps. And finally, a major seventh is 5 1/2 whole steps or 11 half steps. Okay, let's look at these examples down here. And for this, we're going to use our keyboard. Okay, so we've got our keyboard right here. So we know that this is a minor third because it's given to us. So let's look. We start on F sharp, then we go to G, that's 1 half step, G sharp, 2 half steps, A, 3 half steps. So for the minor third, we see that we have 3 half steps. Okay? Go ahead and write that. For the major sixth, and remember, if it's a capital M, it stands for major. If it's a lowercase m, it's always going to stand for minor. For the major sixth, we're again going to count half steps, so we start on D. D is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From D to B is 9 half steps. Okay? That gives us a major sixth. Our next interval is a minor sixth. That starts on E flat, so E flat is 0 and ends on B. Let's count together. E flat is 0, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 half steps. That makes it a minor sixth. Next one is a minor third. We can see up here that minor thirds have 3 half steps. Let's just count and make sure. We start on E, 1, 2, 3. Up to G, 3 half steps. Our next example is a minor seventh. We start on B flat, below the staff, and we'll just use this since our keyboard's not long enough. B flat, B natural is 1, C 2, C sharp 3, D 4, D sharp 5, E6, F7, F sharp 8, G9, and G sharp, which is also A flat, is 10. So a minor 7 will have 10 half steps. Finally, we have our smallest minor interval, which is a minor second, down here on the right. We start with 0 on C, and we count up to D flat. How many half steps is that? Just 1. So minor second is our smallest interval. Okay. Now let's work through some of these problems together. Okay, so we're going to go down here, starting with number 1, and we're going to use our interval keyboard here. Starting with number 1. So our first note on number 1 is E, bottom line E. So we're going to count. E is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's a G sharp. That's 4 half steps, which makes it a major third. So anytime you get lost, you can look up here and see that 4 half steps is a major third. Okay, we'll keep it like that so we can see that. 4 half steps is a major third. So we're going to write capital M, 3. And underneath, I'd like you to write the number of half steps, just like I've done right there. So on the top of the line, write major third. On the bottom of the line, write the number of half steps. Let's do another one. This is G sharp going to B. Remember, we're in treble clef. G sharp going to B. So let's find G sharp on our keyboard. Right here, G sharp. We're going to count that as 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 half steps right there. And we look up at our key. Whenever we have 3 half steps, we have a minor third. So we're going to write a lowercase m and 3. Our next one is a major, well, I won't tell you the answer yet. Let's just count the half steps. Okay, starting with C. C is 0, 1, 2. And we're already at D. We have 2 half steps. Let's find the one that has 2 half steps on here. Check that out. Major second. Okay, so it's actually very simple if you start with the half steps. Our next one looks similar to the third one here, but notice that it's a B to a C. Okay, so we're going to count B. B is 0. Count up to C. That's 1 half step. So we're going to write 1. Check it out. Minor second. 1 half step. Okay. Our next one. This is a bit of a wider interval, so we're going to have a lot of half steps to count. Starting on low C. C is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 half steps from C to B natural. Okay, so we're going to write 11. Go to our chart at the top. We see that it's our largest interval, major 7, 11 half steps. So we're just going to write major 7. Finally, the last one on the first line is D flat to C. D flat to C. D flat is also known as C sharp. It's our first black key right here on the piano. So counting D flat is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay? D flat to C natural is 11 half steps. And we see it's the same interval-wise as this question. Okay? So we're going to write major 7 because a major 7 is 11 half steps. Okay? We'll do one more line and then I'll let you finish the rest on your own. Okay? So remember, we are in bass clef now. Bass clef. So we're right here on number 2. Starting down here, we've got a D all the way up to a C. So let's go ahead and count the half steps. D is 0. D is going to be 0. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 half steps. So go ahead and write that number 10 under the line. And we find at our on our key up top that 10 half steps is a minor 7th. Okay, so a minor 7th, that's going to be 10 half steps. And you guys will get faster at this as you go. Right now we're really breaking it down very simply for you, but Once you start to know how many half steps apart certain intervals are, you'll also notice that they look the same, okay? So you'll see that some of these intervals, such as this one that we're about to do and this one over here, look the same. So we've got an E and an F, which on the keyboard are right next to each other. So E is 0, F is 1. That's 1 half step. Just like this one, just like the minor second. 1 half step. So you'll start to notice those patterns, and it'll help you to identify those intervals a little bit quicker. Okay? Our next example is D flat up to B flat. Okay, so D flat, also known as C sharp. Let's count starting at 0. D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. D flat to B flat is 9 half steps. Go ahead and write that underneath the line. 9 half steps. Let's find it up top. 9 half steps, also known as a major sixth. Go ahead and write major sixth. Try and make a difference between your M's when you're writing it out. One trick I like to use is whenever I've got a minor interval, I always write it like this. Minor second, and I put a line, okay? That helps, especially if your M's look similar. That'll just help us to make sure that you've got it correct, okay? Next we have A to F. Okay, so let's count up. Our keyboard's not big enough for this, so we're going to count on the staff. A is 0, B flat 1, B natural 2, C 3, C sharp 4, D 5, D sharp 6, E 7, F 8. Okay, so we know that if the interval has 8 half steps in between, we count it as a minor sixth. So remember how to make our difference. Put a little line over the M, minor sixth. Okay. 2 more, and then I'll let you get 3 and 4 done on your own. This is a G to an F, a G to an F. Okay, so let's count up. G, G sharp 1, A 2, B flat 3, B natural 4, C 5, C sharp 6, D natural 7, D sharp 8, E 9, F 10. So we count a total of 10 half steps. We know that 10 half steps, if we look at our key up top, is a minor seventh. Minor 7. Okay? So we're going to put the little line over the M. Finally, we've got D to C sharp. D to C sharp right over here. Let's go ahead and count on our keyboard this time. D is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 half steps. 4 half steps, as noted by our key up here, is a major third. So check it out. Okay, and we've done the first 2 lines. Go ahead and do 3 and 4 by yourselves. It might help you to find a keyboard like this one on the internet, so you can go ahead and visualize that. Or if you have a piano at home, you can do the same thing if you know where all the note names are on the keyboard. So that is minor interval basics.